All right, Mario, welcome to your video lessons. In this video, we're going to talk about the professional pitcher that we're going to use as your comparison. We're going to explain why we chose him. And then after that, we're going to talk about some improvements that you've made as a pitcher since we started this whole thing back in March. All right, so with that in mind, let's begin by looking at Tom Glavine on the right-hand side. I do realize that Tom Glavine's left-handed, so what we're going to do is flip him over. And Tom Glavine pitched for the Braves. He pitched for the Mets. Cy Young winner. He's going to win He's going to go to the Hall of Fame. He won some World Series, and he's just a fantastic pitcher. And one of the reasons why I chose Tom Glavine for you is because of the arm angle. And what you're going to see here with Tom Glavine, the arm angle that I've just drawn, and the release point, well, that's very similar to your arm angle and your release point. And so one of the things that we try to do as pitching coaches is we try to find comparisons for professionals that have very similar arm angles and release points. And that's because as a pitching coach, we know that the arm slot and the arm angle is a natural thing for a pitcher. We don't want to change that because that's what we do naturally. Instead, we want to change things that can be manageable, like the momentum, or like the knee lift, or having our glove equal and opposite of our arm when we land, those types of things. So as you can see here, you and Tom Glavine have a similar arm angle. You'll also notice one other similarity, and that's the way you separate your hands. So you see Tom Glavine here. You're going to see when he separates, his glove arm is going to come out away from his body, nice and long. And you do the same type of thing here. We take you here, we get you into your separation. You're going to see that glove come out away from your body, nice and long, just like Tom Glavine. So those are a couple of reasons why we chose him as your comparison. So with that in mind, what I wanted to do next is play both of you guys side by side a couple of times. And as I play it, I want you to notice the similarities and differences, and then we'll get into the things that you've done to improve as a pitcher. All right, so now that we have that taken care of, let's go ahead and pull up the very first time that we videotaped you on March 21st, and we'll pull up a side view. So here you are on the right-hand side, or left-hand side, and then we're going to pull up Tom Glavine's side view, and we'll flip him over to make him right-handed. All right, so we're going to take a look right now at you. And one of the things we're going to do is we're going to look at your stride length, because when you first started, your stride was a little bit short. And so I'm going to put up a grid here, and we're going to measure your height. Okay, so this is the bottom of your foot there all the way to the top of your head. And we'll put up that same grid, and we're going to measure Tom Glavine's height as well, from the bottom of his foot all the way to the top of his hat. All right, and then we're going to count it off. So for you, we have, in terms of your height, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So your height on this is 16 of those units. And Tom Glavine's height is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Now, the reason I'm measuring that is because a good pitcher, particularly in the big leagues, their stride length is going to be the same distance as their height. So what we're going to do next is we're going to measure Tom Glavine's stride distance. Back of his foot, all the way here to the front of his foot. And then we're going to count those grids off. We're going to see how many that is. And remember, Tom Glavine had 14 units here from top to bottom. So he's at about a half right here, so that's half. 1.5, 2.5, 3.5, 4.5, 5.5, 6.5, 7.5, 8.5, 9.5, 10.5, 11.5, 12.5, 13.5, and that's a little bit less than a half. So he's got about almost 14, which is the same distance as his height. Now if we take you here on the left-hand side and get you into your stride, right there, we're going to go ahead and measure that, and keep in mind that your height on this was 16 units. Okay, so we're going to measure from the back foot here all the way to the front foot, and we'll count those off. Okay, we got about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So you were about 3 short because your height was 16 and your stride length was 13, whereas Tom Glavine, he was 14 and 14. Now with that in mind, what I want to do is pull up your most recent video, and I want to show you how your stride distance has improved. So just to be consistent here, we're going to measure your height first. Draw that line from your foot all the way up to the top of your head right here, and let's count that out. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and about a half. So your height here is 14 and a half. And this is the most recent video. Let's go ahead and get you to your stride and count them off. There's the landing position right there. So let's measure the stride length here. Let's count them off. We got about 1 right there, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 and a half. And so you're only 1 off, which is fantastic because before you were about 2 to 3 off. So you made a huge improvement in terms of the length of your stride. And that's important as a pitcher because the longer our stride is, the more we're using our body and the more we're creating momentum. So keep that in mind. Now with that, we're going to stop this lesson, and in the next video, we're going to talk about some more things that you improved.